describe what happens with you day and night. You open your eyes and realize nothing was what it seems, but I'm still with you in your dreams. 'Cause I am the monster in your nightmares. if I had to choose, dark walls to bear, no one else would like to share. It's a matter of fact that my heart's turned black. Broken road, broken home, no place where I can go. Broken road, broken home.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, new series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's Rocky Game 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports.
Welcome everybody to the A&J's Custom Creations 300 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I am your host, Alan Brown, and I am wrong button. In the booth with Mr. Alan English. How you doing?
Good, Alan. I'm looking forward to some good, fun night racing here at Charlotte. It's going to be one of the longest races of the year. It's going to be a blast.
And down on pit road, I hope he's got his cooler extra filled tonight. That would be Adam Turner. How you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm doing awesome. Yeah, you got to fill it up a little extra today because we got 300 miles here in the A&J's Custom Creations 300. I mean, it's going to be a dog fight, a marathon. These guys are going to have to scrap their way out of it, and they're going to have to battle for 300 laps. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be very interesting to see what happens during this super long race. It's kind of like the premier race for the MDOT racing.
300 laps. If we're going to do 300 laps, I'm going to go to the store again because
I think it's 200 laps and
200
miles.
laps. Yeah.
Yeah, 200 laps, 300 miles at this a mile and a half track here in Charlotte. Have some good weather today in a race that's going to start under the sunlight and end under the moonlight. Word of the day for the race, management. These drivers are going to have to manage their tires, manage their tempers, manage their cars, because that wall, when you come out of 4, comes up mighty quick. What do you guys think?
I love that. Managing tempers. That was a good one. It's a little bit windy, too. 12 mile an hour wind blowing right now. I don't know how much that's going to affect these guys on one side of the track or the other. It's probably not going to be too much of a factor, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have put it any better, Brown. Management. I mean, I like it. That's what they're going to do, and they're just going to have to run what they know how to run. All these guys have driven together in this league. I mean, they know each other, and the temper part, yes, there's going to be some tempers flaring. I mean, we've had some fireworks last week, if y'all recall. It's just going to be an interesting race since it's so long. And that front stretch, just like you said, tightens up, and I think we could see a little bit of issues down there in the front stretch as tire wear comes into play.
As we just finish up our practice, Manny Valdez, again, a name that we say all the time, bringing in the fastest lap of practice as we go off to qualifying here. Let's take a ride around with Mr. Let's go with Mr. Joe Neidig. We'll go with Mr. Joe Neidig if I can find his name. Come on, work. It's not working.
Well, Joe Neidig is leading the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup standings at the moment. He drives for Latte Motorsports, and he's just a tough competitor.
They got a solid team, them guys over at Latte, that's for sure.
Now, Joe wasn't quite on the track yet, so we'll take a ride around here with Pete Van Sprundle as he puts in his qualifying lap with our gyro cam. You can see the massive banking at this track, which allows them to carry a lot of speed through these corners.
You don't realize how much that banking is until you see it like this on one of these cameras, because looking at it from the audience or looking at it from a TV camera, I mean, yeah, you can see that it's banked, you just can't tell how much that thing is banked.
Yeah, that makes it interesting, when people get into each other. When you're banked that high, they're going to come down at some point just due to gravity. And we've seen that in some of these races with these high bank tracks. And it just gets interesting, let's put it that way. I didn't know Mr. Van Sprundle was from Long Island, New York. Wow, shout out to Long Island, New York. I don't know if we have too many New York guys in this league. Bunch of tough guys.
He's running that Wendy's Where's the Beef old school paint scheme too. I love that.
Yeah, well, most of these kids watching probably don't remember that commercial in the mid 80s, but it's a pretty cool paint job.
Yeah, yellow roll cage and everything, man. I believe that's canary yellow. I had a truck that color once.
It definitely sticks out. You can see it from quite a ways away.
Oh yeah.
Take a look here at Tabor Mowry as he's finishing up doing a couple laps here. Going off into turns 1 and 2.
In the orange Busch Latte car, not to be confused with Busch Light. I think it's similar. Another
There's
Ohio
Busch
kid.
teams out there today. Yep.
I'll have to, in regards to the beverage schemes, I'll have to trust your guys' instincts on that. I would not know.
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, it depends on where you stand, but we know a lot about beverages, Alan and I, and another beer that's from I think the state of Washington, Rainier.
Rainier beer, yeah.
With Matt Fornes, it's a pretty cool paint scheme as well.
McComas coming across the line, coming with a 30.57, bringing him to 14th place. But so far, everyone is still chasing Manny with the top lap time. And he actually took that one by quite a bit. Manny had a 30.17, and the next closest person was Anthony Frey at 30.3.
Yeah, over a tenth of a second, 1300ths of a second here, which is when you have the entire field within 7/10 of each other. That's a pretty big gap between first and second.
Well, I mean, the kid does it every week. I think we call him the fastest chick in the South, and that's for a reason, He's always in the Zaxby's car, and he's always out front in some way or another. It's really, at this point, in my opinion, his race to lose. But I mean, we got a long time to go, 200 laps, so anything can happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So along those lines of management, these tires aren't gonna last a full tank of fuel. I don't think. I think these guys are gonna be coming down for tires before they're anywhere close to running out of gas.
And the guys that try to make these tires last, they're going to be sorry, because your time differential between brand new tires and 30 lap old tires, especially on a track like this, it's going to be a dramatic difference. So, yeah, definitely come and get them tires for sure.
Right, and we talked about it. We did the ARCA broadcast for MDOT last night, and it's a similar track, a mile and a half at Texas Legacy. Um, if there's some kind of caution somewhere middle of with 15 laps in or whatever, where are you going to go ahead and pit and get tires, Alan?
Oh, I definitely will. That's not a question to me. Yeah, it's a very similar track in a lot of ways. I mean, it's the difference in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is not as great as Texas, obviously, but it's still a quad oval. You know, it's a quad oval shaped track with that kind of weird bottleneck when you come out of 4 and get onto that front stretch. You know, you're driving right towards that little point in the grass there, and a guy's going to be fighting over the same real estate.
Yeah, that's 100%, and your real estate may be a piece of that grass if you have nowhere else to go. And no fast repairs in this league, no fast repairs. So, they're going to try to keep these cars super clean.
As they're starting to grid up and get ready to roll out to take the green flag, let's run down through the field really quick. Our winner for the pole, no surprise, the 72 car of Manny Valdez, with Lance Hill coming in second. In third, we have Anthony Frey, and in fourth, Mike Simon. The 31 of Alan Dixon came in fifth, with Justin Malarkey on his outside coming in sixth. Joe Nidick Jr. coming in seventh, and the 5 of Taver Mowry coming in eighth. Joe Nidick coming in ninth, and William Brown coming in 10th.
Matt Forens is going to start in the 11th position, with Isaac Degner starting in 12th. Justin Barkley is going to be the 13th car starting on the grid today. Michael Pimpera, 14th place. Corey Wakefield's going to be in that number 16 car starting in 15th place today.
Then you have, rounding out the end of the field here, number 70, Stephen McComas, in 16th place. We have Gary Sargent in the 28 car. He's 17th. Michael Buckley in the 26 car, 18th place. And then in the Where's the Beef vehicle, Pete Van Sprundle, number 80, 19th. Crazy Phil Stannard, number 4, he's in 20th. The Italian Stallion from Arkansas, Eric Fiorello, number 25 car, he's 21st. And in the final position, the angry idiot, Derek Scrimmel, out of California in the 96 car.
I believe it's pronounced Schimmel.
I'm sorry. It just popped up on my screen.
It's a common mistake.
Very common. And it looks like Manny Valdez missed the grid, so...
What the heck?
Yeah, so it looks like Anthony Frey in that
Wow.
64 car is going to get bumped up to that first place spot to bring us to the green flag.
He's not even starting in the pits. Oh, I just saw a server disconnected due to incoming packet loss. He has a connection issue.
Oh, that's going to hurt
Wow.
him here. Hopefully he doesn't get too many laps down.
Wow, interesting, boys.
Yes,
An old packet
indeed.
loss.
Pace car coming down out of turn 4. Anthony Frey gonna lead the pack to the green flag. And here we go. Lance Hill getting a great jump on the outside, taking that spot away pretty handily as they go down into turn 2. Too wide behind him. Kind of staggered, but looks like everyone's given some decent room out there.
That's right. This is going to be a little bit different from the ARCA race that we watched last night, just because, like you guys mentioned, I think Adam was saying, these guys race together a ton. I mean, this is the top tier of this progressive league, the Cup Series. So these guys know what they're doing out there, and they've been around each other enough to know, patience is definitely a virtue on these restarts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they're still running too wide here, but they're giving each other lots of room. They know who does what and how they race. So they're probably pretty comfortable. And I expect it to kind of go single file here pretty quickly, and then people just to start making their way up as they can.
Back across the line for lap number 4. What is going on? I think someone had a connection issue because it tweaked out my stuff. We're on lap number 3. But yeah, they're all pretty single filed out, which is good to see on a long race like this, like you guys said. Question is how hard are these guys pushing right now, or are they trying to take it very, very easy, knowing that, you know, these tires aren't going to last?
Adam, what do you think about that? I mean, send it now or save, you know?
Oh, I wouldn't send it just yet. Now we're 4 laps into 200. You know, you have to, like Brown said, management. Here, I think you need to just kind of chill, basically, for the first 50 laps at least, kind of see where your car is, see how everybody else is racing, but don't let somebody lure you into some position you don't want to be in. Race your own race and get to your own skill level, and it's going to turn out your way if you race the race yourself.
We got a little battle here for the
Oh, yeah.
number 2nd spot. 2 wide racing between Justin Malarkey and Mike Simon. I believe it's Simone, excuse me.
Come on, yeah.
Oh, Red Stick Mike.
Anthony Fry trying to get his nose up there and make it a little more interesting, too.
2 wide racing they go.
There you go.
Down into 1 and 2. They're 2 wide for 3 rows there.
They are. They're mixing it up. They're getting racy, but they're doing it safe. They're doing it smart here.
Well, like we said before, no fast repairs. I'm sorry, 0 fast
yeah.
repairs. So you better know where you're going to stick the nose of that car, because it may end your day and your neighbor's day real quick.
Oh, yeah. If you don't give them room, you know, if that's something else you got to manage is room. I mean, if you don't give the cars around you room, it's just like waking a sleepwalker. I mean, you could cause harm to yourself or others, you know, if you don't give these guys room.
That's a good way to put it.
They keep racing for that 2nd spot. Actually, we're following Mike Simone right now, and he's dropped all the way to 10th, and that's just how quickly, if you race and get out of the groove, you're going to be shuffled back here.
And the leader's loving to see that in his rearview mirror. He's just driving off.
Oh yeah, speaking of the leader who's opened up, you know, almost a 2-second gap.
He got a football field, man.
He's got nothing behind him. He's putting in at least a 10th faster lap every lap.
Yeah, he's boogieing. Lance Hill's got a good hot rod tonight.
And let me ask y'all this: is he just that much better? I'm not sure. A lot of these guys are really good drivers, but he seems to just be walking away from them at this point. Or is he using up his tires and the crowd's going to catch him later?
It could be either way. I mean, he's either pushing it hard now to make, you know, he might think this green flag run may last a good long while. So he's probably counting on no cautions and get tires and get the heck out and put some more time on them. But it's hard to tell at this point. I think Lance Hill's one of those guys that he puts a lot of them practice laps in when we come to these tracks, and it's paying off for him in dividends.
Just a thing to watch, though, is these lap times. They're going to be quickly inflating. They started off this run running 30.2s, 30.3s, and now they're almost at the 31.2 mark, almost a second slower already, and we're only 10 laps in.
That's that management, the tire management here. Is I'm watching them. Justin Malarkey in the U.S. Navy car is off to a really good start there in 2nd place. Kind of fun to watch him. And then Joe Neidick in the 24 car is sitting number 3 with a little bit of battle going on behind him to catch him.
Yeah, Joe Neidick is in that 24 is up 6 spots already. Actually, Pete Van Sprundle is up 6 spots, but he's back in 13th, so he's going to look to make up some more spots as this race progresses.
Yeah, Joe's got John right behind him. I don't know if there's a better thing to see in your rearview mirror than one of your family members maybe come try to help you out a little bit here, but they're probably just watching out for each other right now, and I'm sure they're talking on the radio and coming up maybe with a strategy if we get enough green flag action here.
Well, maybe so, but both of them, I'm pretty sure, are competitive, and I think they'd probably knock each other's teeth out if they had to win the race. I mean, that's the type of tough guys those guys are. They're from Ohio. We've mentioned it before. Ohio, those guys are tough. That's real America. Ohio.
Got a little incident between the 25 and what other car was that? Let me go back and look. I heard a little beating and banging back there.
Yeah, 25 driving pretty slow right now. That's the 25 of Eric Fiorello.
Yeah, he got into the 4 of Phil Stannard. Phil kept it straight though, and we're staying green here.
Yeah, we're staying green. They're still off and running. There's a little bit of a battle, it looks like, for 15th here as well. We got a few cars all stacked up with Michael Pimpere currently in that spot.
Yep, old Michael Pimpere, good driver. It looks like he's kind of battling it out there for 14th, 15th place.
The battles
Gary
are,
Sargent.
oh, as he drifts up the track, getting kind of tight. Wonder if he missed his mark there and losing that
Very
run.
well be.
But
When
very
you get around other cars, you're watching them as much as you're watching where your marks are. That might be what happened there. He got a little distracted there, Alan.
yeah, that was very, very close to being something not good that you want to see this early on.
How about this, man? All these cars on the track, 16 laps in and no cautions. These guys are pretty doggone clean.
That they are. We'll go back up to the leader just to see how he's doing, which we already know how he's doing. He's almost opened up 2 seconds now.
Yeah, he could be up there eating tacos right now. I mean, he's just killing it at the moment. But these guys back here are using both hands on the wheel, and they're fighting for jockeying for positions with in the back of the field, and it's really entertaining to watch back here.
It is fun to watch. Those guys are, really trying to make some moves. They don't have the luxury of being way out front like Lance Hill. I think I saw a chicken bone come flying out of his window. He's probably eating some Zaxby's chicken, throwing the bones out. I mean, he's relaxed. I mean, you can tell he's way out in front, and he doesn't have a care in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing his thing, and let him. But let's kind of focus on these other guys. They're making it a real interesting race.
Yeah, just kind of looking through the board here to see who's got stuff going on. Looks like the 90, I believe that's the 98 of Degenaire is moving up through the crowd pretty quickly.
Yeah, Isaac Degner, he's just below the 5 car of Tabor Mowry right now, battling for that 7th position.
Coming up on old Red Stick Mike Simone.
Degner moving up through the field pretty quickly, and Tavor's moving back through the field pretty quickly too. He was in the battle for 3rd. He's lost quite a few spots.
Is that a deal where, like you were talking earlier, where you miss your mark maybe on a corner and give the upper hand to the competitor?
Either that, or he said, hey, one of them backed out, and he said, I'm not going to fight you right now. Let's just click off some laps, and we'll settle this later.
And right in front of them is a battle between Simone and Joe Nidick.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty tough battle there, and Tabor Mowry in the number 5 car with Degner right behind him. They're kind of moving up on Mr. Nidick, it looks like.
Is this really the time to make some moves? I mean, I guess why not? If you know there's no cautions coming, at least for a little bit, based on the current track record, why not make some moves? do something, maybe do something unexpected.
Yeah, these guys are competitors. They don't want to sit still.
No, absolutely not. They do not want to sit still, but, you know, we still have got just under 180 laps left here in this A&J's Custom Creations 300-mile race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Lance Hill, your current leader by a massive margin. The gap is almost 3 seconds now.
Oh man,
And
Lyman for sure.
he is absolutely flying out there.
William Brown's running a pretty solid race right now too in the third spot. He's sticking with him as best as he can, but maybe later on he'll have something for these front two cars.
Yeah,
William Brown is a race winner. He's won before, so he's known to the league to be one of the top tier guys. So he's gonna do his best to get up front there.
Yep, another Ohio boy. A lot of Ohio boys in this league. Hamilton native.
yeah, still, and unfortunately, Manny still has not come back to the track. It appears he has lagged out. I'm sure he's probably sitting there banging that power button on the computer trying to get it to restart quicker.
He's probably got a chancla just bashing the top of his freaking router right now. I know that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah, and he's how many spots will he lose? He's set number 3 in the point standing, so this is gonna hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt for sure.
And you know he's not happy about it. And I mean,
Oh, man.
hey, it's the breaks sometimes.
He just got scored. He scored 22 laps down now, so he's gonna need some apocalyptic damage to happen to some of these other cars if he's gonna make up any spots today.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I mean, we would actually need a big catastrophe to happen out there too, as it looks like, is Lance starting to come up on any lap traffic at all?
Yeah, you'd think so. He's driving it like he stole it, so you would think he's probably coming up on somebody in the back of the field.
I think he's
Take a look here.
about 10 seconds behind Phil Stannard right now, so they're going to be catching up to some lap traffic, and that'll be interesting to see what happens to the pace here, because they've been pushing it pretty hard. They're now running about 2 seconds a lap slower than when they first started. So we'll see what happens. It might even the field out a little bit.
And at this point, this many laps in, there's not a car on the track that's going to stay out there with these tires. That's a guarantee. So you're going to have a crowded pit road. You might have some run-ins on pit road. We've seen that here before, especially getting on and off.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to be expecting pit stops. You know, a fuel run will last 60, but I'm willing to bet these guys are going to come down right around 45 or maybe 50.
Oh, yeah, and green flag all the way. I mean, you're definitely burning some gas, especially if these guys are trying to push it at all, you know.
So we look back here at the battle for 10th. Joe Neidick and Justin Barkley battling it. Absolutely out, balls to the wall, with Justin Barkley kind of just lurking a little bit. And yeah,
I thought Neidick was going to have something for Forns there, but Forns kind of pulled away for a second. He's running a little bit different line, I think. I have to watch it again.
Yeah, the number 22 car, Justin Barkley, Mr. Macaroni and Cheese. He's having a pretty good run here as he comes up on Mr. Neidick again.
ooh, gets the pass done quite easily there. I wonder if Joe just said, you know what, not worth the time right now.
Yeah, he probably did. I mean, the Ocala, Florida native, Justin Barkley said, hey, I'm going to come up here and put a little pressure on you. And he said, go ahead, Justin, it ain't worth it yet.
No, but everyone looks like they're starting to spread out even more now, which is good because we're going to see clean racing hopefully all the way through this, but
Boy, well, we need to have some kind of fireworks to talk about. I'd love to see a little bit of action, but not as much as we saw last night with the 5 or 7 or however many cautions we had.
right.
I'd like to see something good to happen though, just from my
this-
own personal standpoint.
I tell you what, it is fun to watch.
It is, as Matt Forns and Taver Mowry are fighting over that 8th spot.
Eric Schimmel behind a couple of cars side by side here towards the rear of the field. This is for 16th, 17th, 18th position. Got him in the 28 and the 78, or the 70, I'm sorry, all sitting in one group towards the back.
Yeah, those guys are fighting to stay on that lead lap. You know, they're watching that relative. They're
That's
seeing
right.
They're seeing who's coming up behind them, and they don't want to be stuck getting lapped. You're going to try to. They're going to try to stay on that lead lap, and it's a battle when you start wearing these tires out. And I know the tires now do not feel good while you're hitting those corners.
Oh, man. Derek's looking at that rearview mirror, looking at his relative, saying, please give me a caution soon. These things are getting slick, and I want to stay on this lead lap.
Yeah, I'm just over here looking at the A&J's Custom Creations Facebook page, guys. If you need stuff for your wife or your family members, like they make everything: T-shirts, cups. They custom design everything, and it's just a real cool gift for a loved one. You might want to check them out on their Facebook page, A&J's Custom Creations.
Yeah, I was taking a look on there too, and I saw a couple of those tumbler mugs, and man, they look pretty sweet.
They look professional, that's for sure.
And love supporting family-owned businesses. You know, small business. That's what America's about. And family deal.
You know, I was looking at their Facebook page too. You know, they're almost to 1,500 likes on their page, which that's an accomplishment for, you know, it's a business, a family's running out of their home. They're trying to make some extra cash, and I mean, if you look at the reviews and stuff, people are extremely satisfied with the stuff they get there. You know, like you were talking about tumblers, even custom hairbrushes and stuff. They can put a name on a hairbrush. They make custom, you know, the signs and stuff you see in people's dining rooms and stuff like that. Holiday items, Christmas ornaments.
Hate to cut you off, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
But big news. I think we had another issue here. I think Lance Hill might have got the boot from that packet loss too.
Wow.
Got booted?
Yeah, I'm showing him a lap down right now. He was kind of blinking out, so we have connection issues up there for those top spots apparently tonight.
Wow. Heartbreak for the 6. He was putting it on them too.
Now we have a new leader. Justin Malarkey has taken the lead because of that mishap. Let's see what he can do with it.
That 73 U.S. Navy car is pretty quick tonight.
It is pretty quick. Not as quick as Lance's, but still has a decent gap over William Brown, who's currently in second, and Mike Simone in third.
That's all you really need right at this point is a decent gap. You know, the Northeast Pennsylvania native knows what he's doing out there. He's watching his rear view. He's watching his relative. And all he's thinking to himself is, don't overdrive the car. Manage. We talked about management. Manage that gap behind you. You know, just run fast enough to stay out in front of them, but not so much as you're going to just destroy these tires, which are probably getting close to the cords by now.
Yeah, and it looks like we had a couple takers down pit road already, and that was Joe Neidick and Corey Wakefield pitting on laps 34 and 35. So we're starting to see them kind of trickle in down there past you there, Adam.
Yeah, they're coming in and out. Everybody's doing it at their own pace. You know, since we have no cautions, we're green flagging it. You know, it's your own team strategy at this point in time. You know. Me personally, I like how they've already taken tires, but some other guys may be trying to stretch that out to, you know, as far as they can go. I don't know what you think about that, guys, but every team in this league has their own strategy, and I think we're going to see that during these pit stops.
And some of the teams aren't all doing the same thing together. I just saw a latte car coming down pit road when he's got teammates that are still running around the track out there. Here comes Phil down pit road, so Taver and the Nidix and stuff, they're still out there running. Let's kind of see what they do here. They might only be another lap or two from coming in themselves.
Yeah, I think we're at the point where it's about that time. You know, you're gonna start losing lots of time on these old tires. Looks like Mike Simone, number in the 27 car, is moving up a little bit here on number 73 Malarkey.
Now,
That
Red
he
Stick Mike,
is.
he's on the move.
Easily getting around William Brown to take away the second hole. Getting ready to chase down Justin. It's now, let's see who pits first, because that might tell you who's more confident on the older tires.
You think Mike just saved a little bit more than the 73, and now he's just he's trying to show him, hey, look, I got some good tires. Put some pressure on him.
He may have, and he's probably giving his son a little lesson on driving right here. And I hope his son's sitting right next to him watching, because he's having a good race so far.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got Ryan looking over his shoulder right now, watching Daddy run.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge, guys. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Making the move to pass him down low, side by side through 3 and 4. I don't think he's got the grip to get it done, but he's still.
Stannard, Nidek, and Anthony Fry just wrecked out.
Whoa.
Oh no,
Yeah, a
that's
couple cars that were about to pit, and as soon as the caution came out, they dodged that commitment cone. Good for them.
man. Talk about maybe good timing, maybe talk about bad timing. We'll have to go back and take a look at this Midwest replay. Oh, yeah, that looked like Joe Nidek getting into the wall, and that wall is not forgiving. Oh, coming up across the nose of the 4, getting spun directly into the wall, and those are some hard hits too. So we'll see what these damaged cars are going to be able to do when we get back going green, but yeah, they may not have the pace anymore to keep up with everybody.
You had a couple cars just trying to dodge the mayhem. I think that one of them was the 64 Anthony Fry that came in and just kind of pancaked that inside wall, just trying to dodge the craziness there.
Oh, the number 4 Crazy Phil Stannard just sent it right into the back end of Mr. Nidek there, but I don't think there was any ill intentions. It just got tight on the racetrack as they were trying to make some maneuvers around a slower car.
Tons of traffic on pit road right now. There's these guys coming in to get 4 fresh Goodyears and top off with go-go juice.
Oh yeah, and off the line goes Malarkey, followed by Simone and William Brown, with Degner closely behind them.
Well, how happy are you if you weren't involved in that mayhem to get a little caution and a little relief and get those fresh tires, those Goodyear tires, and get back out there? Because
You ain't
I know
lying.
it was getting real slippery.
Yeah, you had a couple guys that were about to come into pit road, and I heard the 31 car, Alan Dixon, key up and say, "Don't pit, don't pit, don't pit," trying to tell his teammates, "Hey, stay out, We're about to get a yellow here." He was right.
All right. Now it looks like Taver did not get the benefit. He ended up getting his lap back, but that's about it. He pitted on lap 41, and he's one of the ones that pitted probably closest to when that yellow came out.
Yeah, you got the 4 and the 24 coming back down pit road again. It's probably to get some damage fixed here. There's no fast repairs here in the Cup Series.
Now they're down here beating and banging on these cars. They're trying to do their best, but significant damage. It's going to definitely hamper the rest of their afternoon here.
Adam, you're down there on pit road. We got like missing fenders and hoods and front cowlings and stuff at this point.
It's close. We're pretty banged up. I mean, with this new damage model, you can see that these cars they're in a little bit of pain. The 25 of Eric Fiorello came back down. I know he's been down here a couple times. I'm sure he's trying to get everything fixed up for him.
We saw him getting a little dust up with, I think it was Phil Stannert, the
Yeah, I believe it was the 4 car. Yeah.
and didn't seem too bad on the damage side then, but you never know.
I mean, Eric knew what was going on, and he keyed up on the radio and did the classy thing and said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get into you there." And that's the great thing about this league is these guys. You know, we talked about towards the beginning of the race about everybody, you know, racing around each other quite a bit, and a lot of these guys are friends. They don't want to, you know, they don't want to spin out another car and end their night and maybe cripple them in the points department later on in the season when it counts.
No, and like you were saying, no one likes to do that. And I mean, Eric is running currently second in the championship points, so you know he's trying to just get a good result in this race.
Yeah, he needs one just to keep up there in the point standings. His car is pretty beat up around the front right side of it, and he's come in a couple times to get that fixed, but it's going to slow him down a little bit, I think.
And as you predicted, Taver did get the wave around, so he'll be able to catch up to the back of the pack here and get back on that lead lap. Showing a lap down right now is Joe Nidick. He's the first car lap down right now. Anthony Fry is now 2 laps down. Crazy Phil Stannert, he's 3 laps down. And of course, with the disconnections, Lance Hill and Manny Valdez, they're going to lose a lot of points tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about Crazy Phil, number 4, in the Busch Light Apple car. He does not have a front end, guys, so his day is virtually over, but he's going to tough it out and try to get some points here and just race. You know, it's a marathon. Your front end's gone, but your car's still going. Don't sit down. Don't lay down. Just keep racing. Keep fighting. Maybe you gain a spot or two.
Here comes the pace car. Here we go.
Here we go. Back under green flag. Justin Malarkey is going to lead us off with Mike Simone on his outside, and away they go, all stacked up. Looks like Malarkey got a decent jump there, going off down into turn number 1, 2 wide behind him for a couple rows.
You know, with this Cup car package, I don't really want to say it, but it was almost like they barely went. I mean, you could barely see when they accelerate. Not like the ARCA cars last night. It seems like the ARCA cars are faster off the line and win in a drag race. You know, they would win a drag race against one of these Cup cars. It just seemed like they were pretty slow coming off, but they're getting up to speed.
Yep, they're definitely getting up to speed, hitting 180 miles an hour at the high banks here, and it looks like William Brown may be trying to make some noise up there, but getting just out of the groove and letting Malarkey gain a little bit more time. Oh, and that move did not pay off, because now Mike Simone is trying to take that spot back away from William Brown.
Michael Buckley, one of them cars that started near the back, started in 18th place. He's running a solid 7th right now. 26 car Michael Buckley. Keep your eye on him.
Yeah, he's in the barbecue machine right there behind number 10.
Oh, he's got that wreck
car.
That's right, that Rectech pellet grill scheme he's got running with Kingsford on the rear fender. That's a sharp-looking car.
Mike Simone getting kind of train shuffled here, losing spot after spot, because there goes Degner and John Nidick getting the pass on them. He's now down into 5th.
He's just got to keep driving. I think he just clipped the wall a little bit. No, nothing major, but it happens, especially on turn 4 at this track. It gets real tight, like we talked about earlier.
William Brown getting down low on Justin Malarkey to take away the lead, and across the line they go. William Brown, your new leader, he's up 9 spots, guys.
That's
Yeah.
no real surprise. No real surprise.
Also up 9 spots is the 96 of Derek Schimmel. You know, he loves to start in the back. He's he's like me and Adam, especially on these longer races. Let me start in the back and make a few attrition positions and move up. But he's up 9 positions. He's in 13th now, starting in the 22nd spot at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy about his day so far, and hopefully he can stay clean and keep moving up the pack.
And that's what I was saying earlier too. You got to keep the car clean. You got to manage your car position on this track. That wall is very unforgiving, and any aero damage will hurt your overall speed here.
Great racing here. Not as much side by side stuff right now. Everybody's pretty much single file and just like we talked earlier, clicking off laps, trying to get a little closer to the end.
Yeah, I mean, we're just past a quarter of the way done.
Exactly, man. The A&J's Custom Creations 300 is 300 miles. I mean, that's a haul.
That's a lot, and that's a lot when you're sitting in that chair and you're fighting that race car. There's a whole lot going on, and these guys are going through it. A lot of you have to keep your mind sharp during the race. If you just blank out for a second, you could ruin your day. As I'm sitting here looking in the pits, Anthony Frey, 64 Viagra car, he's having a rough one. I think he's got some major damage. He's still sitting in the pits, y'all.
Yeah, Anthony Fry, he's definitely off the pace, but he's trying to hang in there.
That's correct. Anthony Fry, kind of like Glenn Fry. Wasn't he with the Eagles?
We were talking about that the other night.
It looks like Anthony Fry is still in the pits, just kind of trying to get stuff figured out. William Brown, your current leader, with Justin Malarkey in second place. That's kind of your battle for the lead right now because everyone else is well behind him.
Well, I'm watching Sneaky Pete right now in the Where's the Beef number 80 car. He just passed Mr. Dixon in the Coke Zero machine, and they're having a little battle here in 9th, 10th position.
Hey, speaking of, we're talking about how long this race is and how grueling it is. The 80 car, he's one of those guys racing a VR. He races a VR like I do. So the longer you got that bulky headset on your face, especially if you don't have any ventilation or have a fan blowing on you or something, you're having to scratch your eye or your nose now and then and move that thing around. I mean, it's great for spatial awareness and stuff around you, but that thing, it's not comfortable to wear for a 300-mile race like this.
No, you are correct. I mean, I also race in VR, and man, after just 1 hour of racing, I'm all done to take it off and go take a break. But these guys are gonna have to sit there for quite a while tonight, and that's the other management. You gotta manage your stamina and your endurance. Long race. If you make a mistake, that could end it.
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to do the VR, but I can tell you even without the VR, it's pretty grueling, to be honest with you. Super long race, fighting a race car. As I'm looking at Derek Schimmel, 96, he's making moves again. Coming on, Mr. Dixon in the 31 Coke Zero car. He's moving on up, guys.
We're too wide for the lead. Malarkey took the spot away from William Brown, and William Brown's saying, "Nuh-uh, not so fast. I'm still here."
Yeah, he's not giving up, and you can't just give up and let somebody around, especially if it's for a lead. Every lap counts. There's a bonus point for leading the lap, but there's also, I believe, a bonus point for most laps led. So we talked last night during the ARCA race about how important bonus points are. You could still win a race, but if the guy finishing second has got a bonus point, couple of bonus points, he's going to get more points for that race than you are, even though you may have won the race. So these guys got that in the back of their head. They're definitely thinking about these bonus points right now.
Yeah,
That's correct.
And kind of as to what you're saying, Joe Neidick, he's currently not on track. He is disconnected. He was our points leader right now, and he is winless. So that just tells you how important those bonus points are.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Corey, the 16 car. Did he just have too much damage in that last incident, or?
They may have.
I did not see what happened there.
They may have. I mean, there's no telling really what happened, and I'm sure both of them are upset, not real happy about how their day went, and they're going to drop in these points in the points section. So it's a tough day for those guys. But the rest of these guys are still out here racing, and we still have a long way to go, guys.
Yeah, the Coke man, the 25, Eric Fiorello, he's the last car on the lead lap right now. He's 13 and a half seconds or so behind the leader. He started in 21st place. He's up to 16th right now, but hopefully he can stay on that lead lap. He may have a little bit of aero damage from the couple of little run-ins he had. May have a little bit of fender damage, but he's holding his own right now, trying to stay on that lead lap. Nobody a lap down or 2 laps down. Bill Standard's 3 laps down right now, so he'll be your guy eligible for the lucky dog here if we get another caution soon.
That's correct. The Italian Stallion number 25, Eric Fiorello, his right front fender is pretty banged up. He's come in 2 times to try to have the guys work on it and bang it out, but I think it's still giving him a little bit of trouble out there, slowing him down a little bit.
As you're saying about those battles, we got Michael Buckley and Matt Forns having a little bit of a battle behind Mike Simone for the 6th spot.
Got a couple. We talked about the guys that have been moving up. How about Taver Mowry? He's starting in 8th place. He's down to 14th. He had a couple problems earlier, and you got a feel for the 5 car. He's lost a bunch of positions, and he's hoping something turns around here for his race car.
Yeah, he is completely behind, like way behind everybody. And we were kind of discussing it off air, but does draft come into play here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think maybe you can get a little bit extra. It's not huge track like obviously a plate track, but don't you think you can squeeze a little bit more out of your car if you're running with somebody English?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, we've run street stocks at Charlotte before, and the draft is definitely there. It's probably not as pronounced in these cup machines, but it's definitely there. It'll definitely help you some. A little bit of toe on the back stretch, and probably not as much on the front, but maybe you may get some.
So we watched the battle for 3rd between Isaac Degner and John Neidick. Side by side they go, and Mike Simone kind of lurking behind him, waiting and being like, guys, I have a little bit more pace. Can we hurry this up?
Yeah, the Iron Mountain native of Isaac Degner. That's on the previous broadcast. I know I was one of the guys saying Degener because I just assumed, he's probably a Frenchman, or it's French blood in him, but it's definitely Degner. I verified that with him today. I'm sure his friends won't be giving him too much more crap about it, about the announcers getting his name wrong all the time. So Isaac Degner running good today.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Where is Iron Mountain? I thought that was the company. That's the town?
I don't know. I just read it because it was on the slide.
I know. He's from Iron Mountain, regardless.
Single file, they run big gaps kind of all over the place, which is good for ticking down laps, bad if you're trying to make up some spots.
Michigan. That's the official thing. Michigan. He's from Michigan.
Michigan.
Like you were saying about people who are lurking and creeping their way up, Derek Schimmel currently in 13th, but he's got Stephen McComas and Alan Dixon right in front of him. He might be able to get a couple passes done and end up in 11th, and now you're knocking on a top 10.
I mean, if anybody in this field would be a lurker or creeper, I would say Derek Schimmel all the way. But yeah, these guys that are behind him, they're not giving up either. They're going to try to get around him and make some position points on him.
And he needs some. He's setting ninth in points right now, so he's going to try to drive this car as hard as he can and try to keep that position or, improve it in the standings.
As he starts to work away at Stephen McComas, still too wide, and our caution came out back at, I believe, like 41, 42. So we're now already 30 laps old on these.
Yeah, these tires, and just from my own experience, I'm an amateur driver, not a professional like these guys, but 30 laps to me on a track like this, you're on, it's like on ice skates. It's a difficult balance, and you're going to start running a lot slower times.
Oh,
Are these guys getting really tight, or are we a loose condition right now? How's that car feeling? I mean, is it feeling tight going in and loose coming off? Because that's kind of what I would think.
I'm sure there is some definite tightness, especially coming out of 3 and 4. I think you're right, but because the turns 1 and 2 are a little different than 3 and 4. Not much different, but just enough that the car behaves differently. But we also got to look. Sun's going down, lights are coming on, so the track is changing drastically too.
Yeah, and a lot of that will probably depend on driving style. I mean, if you're one of those guys that diamonds these corners, you may get more of a loose condition, whereas somebody that maybe drives a different line or tries to stand there at the top and then, cut down towards that inside line halfway through the turns, they may be pushing like crazy coming out right now.
Yeah, and we're spread out here, and everybody has their own line, right? And when you get close to someone, that's when you kind of learn whose line is whose. So if you're making ground on guys and you hadn't been around them, you're going to have to learn. It's going to take you a couple laps just to figure out kind of how they're running in front of you, so you can see if there's an area for you to attack.
We go back up for the leaders. It looks like they're now catching up to some lap traffic who's very damaged. It looks like he's going to stay nice and high for him to get around, which is mighty kind of him because, yeah, he's very, very damaged.
Yeah, you got a few cars that are missing some pieces and parts, and Eric Fiorello's about to go a lap down, but there's plenty of time left in this thing for, especially these guys that are running a few laps down or near the back of the pack. There's plenty of time for more things to happen and guys to get put behind you, and just, we called it before, the battle of attrition at some of these tracks, kind of like a short track where you're going to get a few guys knocked out with no fast repairs like we run here.
As we take a ride here with Michael Buckley, who just had a quick little meeting with Matt Forns out there on the track and getting a pass done. And let's kind of listen to see what this car is doing and kind of show you how these drivers are handling these turns on old tires and dropping the speed way, way down. I don't think quite on the brakes yet, but definitely a big lift.
Ooh, Yahtzee. It's a handful for sure, I guarantee you that.
That's an interesting look, Brown, in the Buckley's machine out of Newport Richey, Florida. Man, love me some Florida stories. I don't know if you've seen those in the news, but they're always fun.
No, I haven't. Cannot say I have.
Florida man, But as I'm talking about Florida man, I'm also looking here at A&J's Custom Creations. Still look at their website. I'm gonna find something for my mom. These cool tumblers that are sparkle. They got all kinds of sparkles and stuff. Your woman or your wife or spouse probably likes something like that. for a gift for Mother's Day or their birthday or Christmas or anything like that. So check them out, A&J's Custom Creations. Let me ask you a question, Brown. If you're running this race, at this point in the race, we're 80 laps in, you have 120 laps to go, and you've kept your car clean, what is your idea for the rest of the race?
I'm gonna still be patient. I mean, we're about 20 laps away from halfway, and I really wouldn't start making too much of a move until, around 50 to go. 'Cause, I mean, I want my tires to last as long as possible. I mean, as we saw in that, last caution, it took a while, but we did get a caution. So I'm gonna stay out there as long as I can and hope for a caution. And man, those tires aren't gonna like me very much, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's probably the best strategy to have. Just tick these laps away, tick, tick, tick. I mean, it's just such a long, grueling race, and we're not even halfway through it. So you don't want to outshoot your shot just this early in the race.
No, long and grueling is right. We started with 22 drivers. We're down to 17. So we'll see how many people can hang on. And I mean, Phil Stannard in that 4 car, he's just barely hanging on.
Oh, crazy Phil don't have a front end left, but he's still going. Gotta give him that.
His car's running crazy cool right now, though, with no
It looks cool.
with no
Looks cool.
obstruction to that radiator.
That's true, and I'm sure it's running super cool. Just kind of little stretch in the race. It's like your midway point almost. Kind of just everybody seems like they're in a groove right now, and kind of rolling. So that's when Yahtzee happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And not a whole lot going on track. Nice kind of gaps around. Or if we get a pass, we'll kind of take a look. But I mean, everyone's just taking their time, being patient, leaving space. There's no reason to push the issue quite yet.
Wanted to mention one more time our race sponsor tonight, A&J's Custom Creations. They specialize in custom cakes, personalized gifts for every occasion. They have custom t-shirts, tumblers, stuff like hairbrushes that you can't buy anywhere else, custom signs, and much, much more. They even have holiday-themed items for all holidays, Christmas, St. Patrick's Day. If you got somebody on your list that's difficult to shop for, check them out on Facebook, A&J's Custom Creations. Send them a message, give them a like too, so we can get them over the 1,500 mark for likes. And this is, like we mentioned before, this is the time we need to support these small family-owned businesses that have been struggling quite a bit here in the last year or two.
Looks like Derek Schimmel and Alan Dixon having a little race back there for 11th. Derek taking the move down low. See if he's got the grip to get it done. He just does, sneaking up to that 11th spot. It's now, unfortunately, got a little over 2 seconds to get to the top 10, and with old tires, it's going to be tough, but we'll see. He might have saved a little bit just in case for the situation.
And it looks like the 5 car's about to come down pit road here.
That's kind of like what he did last time. He went in a little bit before the other guys. I don't know if he's fighting that thing or what's going on. I'm going to give it a look down here in pit road.
Yeah, we're around lap 45 on these tires, so I'm willing to bet these guys, everyone will have come down within the next 5 laps or so. But as of right now, that's gonna put Tabor a lap down.
Well, Tabor Mowry down here, I'm looking at him here on pit road. His car looks fairly clean. He doesn't look like he has any issues. I think he's got a little different strategy maybe than some of the other guys on his team.
I think you're exactly right. He's just, we saw this earlier with the first round of pit stops. Not all the Latte Motorsports guys were pitting at the same time, but now it sounds like the 8's about to come down as well.
John Neidig. Looks like he's going to come down, get some Goodyear tires and some Sunoco fuel.
Yep, and good job coming down off the track and slowing up for our pit road speed and no tire slide. Let's see how good his pit box parking is. And
it's tough to get down from, you're doing 100. What are you doing right there going into the corner? 165 miles an hour, and then getting it down to 45 miles an hour here? That is incredibly slow when you're running around here at 180 something,
Yeah, that can cause you a penalty, and you definitely don't need a penalty during a race like this.
Under green, it's going to kill you. I mean, because you got to serve it under green. I mean, if it's during the yellow, you'll get a into the longest line penalty, but doing it under green, wow, man, you really got to watch that. Watch those lights when you're in second gear on that tachometer, and make sure you keep them all green. If you get some red lights on there, you're in trouble, bud.
as we just saw there, Isaac Degner easily passing Justin Malarkey, and both those guys are on older tires, so wonder if Isaac was saving a little bit for the end. He's up 10 spots, currently in second.
Wow, what a difference in speed there from Degner and Malarkey. I wouldn't have expected him to get around him that handily.
Well, the management, guys, the key to the race, just
Yeah,
like
that's what he
Mr.
called
Brown
it.
said, management, and all facets of the race, And at this point, we're looking at the tire management situation because it's pretty tough on these tires out here.
Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
was just going to say, as Pete Van Sprundle is now down on pit road, so look for maybe a sneaky Pete decision making, and man, Malarkey's losing a lot of spots now. He's really struggling. I'm wondering why he hasn't pitted yet.
There's a ton of fall off here. He's waiting for a caution. I guarantee it, because look, you got a few cars that are pitting. Eric Fiorella's still in that lead lap. He's still the last car in the lead lap, but John Neidig and Tabor Mowry that just pitted, they're going to be the first couple of cars a lap down. So I guarantee you, guys like Malarkey that have old tires, they're waiting on somebody to make a mistake. They don't want to get trapped a lap down.
Like the 96 car of Derek Schimmel, looks like he's going to pit this time around. He's probably just, ready to get in and get those fresh ones going.
And they feel so good, don't they? All of us have been in that situation where we've been on a long green flag run and the tires are just terrible. The car's not doing what you want it to do, and then you come in and get those fresh ones. You feel like Superman, man, like you can do whatever you want to, drive the car anywhere.
Yeah. It's easy to make a mistake either way. When you're on old tires, easy to make a mistake. You can go in too hot in a corner and, ride up the wall. And then when you have fresh tires, the first couple laps, you got to be careful on those as well.
Man, Isaac's got some speed here late. He just got around William Brown quite easily too.
He's one of those guys. He's been saving it. And hoping nobody noticed, and man, it's paying off for him now. He's running good.
Yeah, number 98, that old school Gulf paint scheme. That really cool look on that car, number 98 car.
Yeah, Gulf Racing Fuel. He's starting in the 12th position, and he's currently leading this race. It's pretty impressive. We're almost to halfway here, and he's crawled his way up to the lead.
He's going to gain him at least an extra point, and he's sitting 23rd in the standings and he drives for Bash Brothers Racing. So this is going to help him out a little bit. Hopefully he can hold on and get him a good finish here.
So the 4-car of Phil Stannard just came onto pit road, but he had them locked up. At least one of his tires was locked up completely. So we'll see if he gets a speeding penalty here or not. That would really kill him.
Ooh, and it looks like Alan Dixon had a little bit of an issue. Let's go back and take a look. He was just coming out of the pits and, getting a little loose. He stayed down on the apron. That was almost that weird kind of yellow that we were talking about. But he managed to stay down, and he might have a little bit of damage now, though.
Yeah, that cone paid the price too. Look, coming out of the pits, especially under green, you're trying to go as fast as you can on that flat apron and stay below that line, because if you get on that line, that's a penalty too. So he was just trying to push it extra hard, and the rear end came around on him, unfortunately, and took that cone with him.
Mike
Luckily
Simone,
didn't
your
take
current
anyone else.
leader, as everyone's starting to cycle through the pits, and looks like William Brown had a better pit stop and beat out Isaac. So we'll see what happens later on in the race between those two, because
Yeah,
we saw Isaac have that late car run, and that's kind of looking like what you need here.
Yeah, you can see at the bottom of the screen there what we could before it cycled around, but 0.2 of a second on pit road, that's a lot. It's you got to figure 0.2 of a second. That's going to translate to a large distance on the track.
Yeah, now we got more and more people coming down pit road. This will almost complete our cycles here. It looks like, yeah, just about everyone has pitted. So we'll see how things shake out after this, to see if waiting that little bit of extra time actually helped you out or hurt you.
So Adam, what do you think about this? We're at halfway now. We're at lap 100 here. They've had most teams have had 2 pit stops right now. So everybody's going to be on a four stop strategy here. I know, caution's notwithstanding. Oh, and speaking of the devil, here's the caution.
Justin Malarkey having some issues. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened here.
Should have kept my mouth shut.
It
man.
always comes at the wrong time.
That happens all the time.
Wow.
I didn't see anything. I just saw Malarkey being slowed down on the apron, which I think was big and was just
Did
enough.
he blow it up?
I don't know. We're gonna have to do a good old-fashioned rewind here, 'cause I don't have any notes or anything about what happened here.
In-car audio or anything? I mean,
Yeah, you know what? That's what we're gonna
Man.
have to do.
we can try it from cockpit and see if he may have lost oil pressure or something.
It looked like Pimpear and Buckley got into it a little bit, and I think that's probably what caused the caution there.
Oh, okay. It may have been something we didn't see.
Yeah, that's a shame for those guys. They beat those cars up pretty good, but doesn't look like they're not drivable or anything. It's just going to be they might be slowed down by some of the
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, you get the 5 car and the 80 car coming down pit road.
You know what? It sounds like the 73 of Malarkey was sputtering out of fuel. I wonder if the fuel man forgot to get off his phone on pit road and it didn't fill up his car.
He may have accidentally unchecked his fuel. I wonder if he's running crew chief or something and something just went wrong there.
Yeah, so
Oh, man.
that's a bummer.
Was that the official cause of the caution, or
Yeah,
was it what Adam was talking about?
I mean, we can go take a look. Justin Barkley. No, I didn't see any issue. I think it was. I think Malarkey was just parked a little too close to the racetrack for iRacing to be like, no, we need a yellow for this. So.
Gotcha.
No ill intent. He did stay, below the track. But yeah, it was just close enough that iRacing threw out the caution.
That's too bad for him. I mean, I guess he just tried to drive it till the wheels fell off there, and the gas ran out. Apparently.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, he has no damage. So he can definitely easily come back up through the field and kind of
And don't,
show us what he's got. I mean, he was running up there for quite a while, so I'm sure he'll be back up there. Just got to wait for that tow time now.
and don't look now, but the car that started in 22nd place, the 96 of Derek Schimmel, now finds himself in 6th place. Strong run for him today. He's been good at dodging wrecks and taking care of that car. So
Yeah, we're just past
kudos
the
to Derek.
halfway mark, and we'll once when everyone gets done on pit road, we'll kind of cycle through the field here real quick to let you guys know who's up and who's down. But right now, John Neidick is your current leader with William Brown in second. And it looks like a few guys decided to kind of double dip. They recently just pitted, but they're like, you know what? Let's just double up our fuel here and make sure we got enough for a good run.
Well, I would. Why wouldn't you? I mean, at this point
That's
in the
right.
race, might as well do it, because keep putting tires on it when you get a chance. That'd be my philosophy here.
So a little radio traffic between the 21 and the 28. Seem to have had a small dispute here somewhere on the track. This might not be over between them. We'll see here as we go green here in 2 more laps or so.
Well, that'd be between Michael Pimpere and Gary Sargent. So yeah, we will have to see on that one.
Yeah, there going to be some more fireworks here. It's not over now. I think the tempers are starting to flare, and you mentioned management with tempers. You're going to have to now. I mean, you're 104 laps in. These guys are tired. They're probably tired of looking at the steering wheel and the screen at this point, or their headset, however rig is set up for their machine. So it's going to get interesting, and we got about 95 laps to see.
That
Was
is
the-
correct.
Is the 25 going to get the wave around here, or did he already? must have
I
missed it.
think he might have already.
Good for him. Lucky for him. I mean, as we've covered, he's had his problems in a couple of little run-ins, but looks like they're coming back around here, getting ready to go.
Getting ready to go. John Neidick is your leader with William Brown on his outside. Isaac Degner in third. Mike Simone in fourth. Matt Forns in fifth. Derek Schimmel in sixth as the pace car comes down. Gary Sargent seventh. Tabor Mowry eighth. Pete Van Sprundle in ninth. And Alan Dixon in your top 10 as we take the green flag and away they go down into turn one. William Brown on the outside of John Neidick. They're even Steven down into the corner. They're going to stay that way by the looks of it through the corner. But I think William might just have the little bit of an edge. No, still side by side they go, and it's side by side behind them too for fighting over for third, and it looks like Isaac's going to be able to take that spot away pretty good, but it's still a fight up here for the lead.
What a drag race we're seeing up here.
Yeah, fresh tires, and they're just hitting the gas basically right now. I think in the lead here, they're wanting to make up some ground. These 3 cars here, just trying to get away from the pack a little bit and give them a little bit of cushion. But them guys in the back there, they're not having any part of it, and they're trying to make a run right here in third and fourth as well.
Ooh, looked like Isaac got pretty close to the wall there, and Matt Forens will take over in that second position.
Yeah, Matt Forrest, that number 10 Rainier beer car, he's one of those patient guys he's just waiting for somebody to make a mistake. You know, he's running around clicking off laps, and you saw it there. Somebody made a little mistake in front of him, and he took advantage of it.
Well, all of this racing is going to help out William Brown. He's getting a nice drive away in the lead. Almost got a second lead on Matt Forns, who's in second right now.
96 just checked up big time to keep from running into the 27 of Red Stick Mike Simone, and guess who paid the price there was Sneaky Pete Van Sprundle. He lost a couple spots. Great save there, though.
Old Sneaky Pete, you know, running his race. Pretty fun to watch him. And Wendy's Where's the Beef Machine. And Alan Dixon's really right on his tail there in the 31 Coca-Cola Zero car.
Yeah, these guys have been kind of going at it all race. They've been around each other for quite a lot. And it looks like even though he's a lap down, Justin Malarkey's kind of lurking behind him, being like, hey guys, let me through. I need some laps back here.
Yeah, number 8 and Nidick kind of let Tabor Mowry around him right there. They were side by side for a second, and that 8 just kind of backed out of it and said, go ahead, man. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, I don't even think they're on the same team. I believe John Nidick is on the Nidick Racing, and Tabor Mowry is
that's right.
the Latte Motorsports Racing. So, but I believe they're family. So hey, blood runs thicker than water, as they say, don't it?
Well, at least now, when we have 10 laps to go, we'll have to check in on that one.
May reevaluate on that.
Yeah, good little battle going on here for third as Isaac and Gary are nose to tail. Looks like Gary's going to try to make a pass on the inside. Side by side they go, and they're just losing time. And I don't know if it kind of looked like Isaac's strategy was save tires and make your move at the end, but I don't know how much this racing's actually saving those tires.
Well, Digner's running the high line here, and I'm sure he's working that throttle and saying, all right, man, if you're going to pass me, burn your stuff up down low. I'm just going to ride around here and make you pass me.
And Gary finally gets the pass, but that was a couple of laps of rubber he's not going to get back racing hard like that.
Yeah, it was well earned, but how much is that going to cost him later? You're right.
I mean, I don't believe we're good to the end, so I'm expecting at least one more pit stop.
Yeah, you're going to have at least one more pit stop, I believe, and you know, it's gonna get real racy when we get closer to the end. So I mean, we may have another caution or two and kind of even things out a little bit. But right now, these guys are just fighting. I mean, I'm like y'all said before, Derek Schimmel, man, look at this guy running number 7, P7. That's really good. He's moving on up the pack.
Yeah, we were talking about him moving up, and you know, he lost a couple of positions on this last. Oh, the yellow's out. What happened here?
Oh, Michael Buckley had an issue. We'll have to see what happened there, as his car is not looking good at all. And his front end getting tore up.
Oh, man. He had a little help from the 21. I believe he started to slide up the racetrack in front of the 21, and unfortunately the 21 was there and caught Buckley's quarter panel there and sent him around, causing the caution here.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because on lap 97, those two got into it a little bit as well. So I don't know if it was tempers on this deal or what.
It didn't look like any kind of retribution or anything. Of course, only the drivers know. But it looked like he just slid up.
Yeah, and with that, the 21 lost his front bumper protection kind of plastic piece, so
yeah, there's no cowling left on there. Or 25 of Eric Fiorello is going to get the lucky dog here, as we see a ton of cars on pit road.
I was about to say, you'd be kind of foolish not to take the pit stop if you're not trying to get a lap back here. So we'll see what the race down pit road is going to look like. William Brown was your leader, and he was kind of away from everybody a little bit, but we'll see who's got the fastest pit stop here. And This could be a 2-tire stop. I mean, you haven't had a lot of laps, and here they come, and William Brown is going to win the chase. Gary Sargent's going to be beaten out by Matt. Nope, Gary Sargent beat out Matt Forns. Taylor Mowry right behind him. Mike Simone, followed by Pete Van Sprundle, Alan Dixon, Derek Schimmel, Justin Barkley, who was in that incident.
There's no way you could talk me into 2 tires here. Give me 4, because these green flag stretches have been long. Can you imagine what your lefts are going to look like after another 20 laps? You might not have anything left there.
Oh, when you run it this long, you might as well get all 4 because you're out there for a good bit. And even though you get more wear on those front right tires, your left tires will eventually come out from underneath you as well. So I'd get all 4 just like you would. And it was a really good race off of pit road there. I was watching the Forns and Sargent, and they had a little battle coming out of there, and I think Sargent got the best of them.
That's always fun to watch, guys that are pushing that speed limit and watching where that exit cone is so they can get back up to speed. But
that's a name that we haven't said up until lately, because he's now kind of up there, but Gary Sargent, he's up 15 spots in 2nd place.
Yeah, running that patriotic Coca-Cola scheme. Gary Sargent was one of those guys that, like you said, he started way in the back, and now he's running 2nd place here. So right now, it looks like he may be our hard charger bonus point winner right now. If the race were to end right now, of course, we've got a lot of racing to do here.
Yeah, we got a lot of racing. Pete Van Sprundle, he's currently in 6th. He's up 13 spots. And Derek Schimmel, he's in 8th, and he's up 14. So we got a lot of big movers in this race. We just got to wait till the end to see how it all shakes out.
He may drop a couple. I think once we cross the start-finish line here, it may score Van Sprundle closer to 10th. But, yeah, you're right, man. I mean, he's one of those guys, too, that's been trying to work his way up today and trying to get at least a top 10 here.
He's had a pretty clean race. He's kept that nose of his car pretty clean. That where's the beef car, man? It's super. What did you say? Canary yellow, super bright yellow. You can't miss it. But he's been driving it pretty well and keeping it clean. And that's kind of the key to what's going on here. Don't hit the wall. Don't hit your neighbor, and turn left.
Stephen McComas had some issues earlier, but he's still on the lead lap in 12th place, starting in 16th. So he's on his way back up towards the front, hopefully. We'll see here.
Yeah, like you said, Eric Fiorello now back onto the lead lap. Justin Malarkey staying out that caution, so he's going to get a lap back. He still needs a couple more, but this race ain't done yet, so we'll see how these guys pan out.
118 of 200 here. Wow, is it starting to sink in now with these guys? Because I mean, a lot of them are thinking, "Man, is this over yet?"
I was gonna say we're usually with 10 to go at this point, and we're just over halfway of not even 2/3 of the way yet.
If not wrapping up, we're getting close to wrapping up a race by now. Yeah, these guys are. Yeah, you're right. This is the marathon today. Whoever said it during the pre-race, talking about this is the marathon. That's right.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's no way around it. This is the crown jewel of Midwest Days of Thunder.
Yeah, pace car coming down pit road. William Brown going to lead the group to the green flag. Gary Sargent starting on the outside, and away they go down into turn number 1. Looks like William Brown got a little bit of a better jump than Gary there. And Matt Forns is going to challenge Gary for that second shot.
Look at the run that 10 has. Yeah, talk about Matt Forns. What a run he's having here. Great restart for him. Derek Schimmel up there making a pass on Justin Barkley here. He's hungry, man. He's chasing it.
Yeah, I think he can smell a little bit of top five. You know, that competitive spirit's getting in him, and he's probably going to push that car as much as he can.
See, as we say that, kind of jinxed him there, and the Isaac Dagger got around. Oh no, we got the 26
Gary
in the
Sargent getting loose coming off
28?
of turn 2, going down into the inside wall. He's going to lose
wow.
a lot of positions because of that, and he's got some side damage. He's going to come down pit road, and man, talk about a mental error here late in the race.
He stayed below the line and off the racing surface, so we're staying green here. That's going to cost him a couple of laps here, probably.
He's in pit road, and the leaders are entering 3 right now, so it's going to put him at least 1. I don't know how much damage he's got, but...
Well, I may be wrong, but it looked like he may have been speeding coming into the pits, too, so we'll see if he gets a speeding on entry penalty here as well.
How much do you think of that? Maybe nerves, man. He was running up in the front, trying to push that car, and just got a little loose there. And you know, I don't know if he was just overdrove the car or cold tires or how that went, but it's sad to see him go because he was having a really good run.
Kind of, sort of, ish. It's a staggered single file. I think that's what we'll call it, a staggered single file. Everyone running their own line, kind of, and everyone given a lot of space here. So, unfortunate error there for Gary Sargent, who was having a nice run.
Look, he's running second place right now. Taver Maurer, we mentioned him earlier, starting in 8th place, was as far back as 20th, 22nd, something like that. Working his way back up to the 2nd position. What a recovery for the 5 car.
Well, he's kept it clean for the most part, and he's doing the marathon thing. You know, let's just keep driving. You know, we've got so many laps we got to click off here. You know, if you have the determination and you can keep that car clean, you know, anything can happen here. We've lost a couple people due to connection issues that were probably gonna be in the top 5 for sure, and then we had a couple guys go out with crashes, and so just keep running, man. And a Taver Maurer orange Busch Latte car looking pretty good right now.
Justin Malarkey is currently 2 laps down. Do you think he'll have enough brakes here? Do you think he'll get a couple of cautions and get waved around and get back up there and be competitive, or do you think at this point, you know, he's got enough damage to where he's, you know, we can maybe count him out of maybe a top 10 finish here?
Oh, I'm sure he's praying for it. You know, we've all seen funny things happen in racing, so I don't want to say anything because then, you know, the good old commentators curse and.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we saw at Sonoma crazy things happen. I think it was the 6 car that were they missing an entire front end and came back and had a great finish. So you really never know. I mean, the damage could look terrible on the car on iRacing, but maybe the aero, you know, maybe something was more important than the aero during this race. You know, maybe they took care of their tires and we're just able to make up a little bit of extra difference.
Yeah, some of the damage models that, you know, we can't see, it's inside in the hood, under the hood. You know, there's you get a little fender bender here and there, and it could do something to your engine that we can't see. You know, and I've seen that happen to a few cars in certain races. So it's hard to tell unless you're in the pit box with that specific crew. And I haven't heard any chat on the video.
Sorry, man. Back here at the 8th and 9th positions, you got Schimmel and Sneaky Pete and a couple other cars, Degner and it looks like Barkley, all racing nose to tail. Sneaky Pete coming inside of Barkley here. Schimmel's going to try to follow, but he closes the door.
Ooh, that's some risky business here, but yeah, nose to tail they are in tight racing. I mean, all these guys have been kind of running in a pack just about all race until it really started to spread out, and
Yeah.
so with these tires, we'll start to see these guys get pretty racy.
It's a quick pack. You know, they're sticking together and they're not really crowding each other too much. As you see right here, the 96 take that position back from the 22 car.
Yeah, making that pass, kind of in a grass. I think it's more of an AstroTurf, but you know, now he's coming up and looking at Pete Van Sprundel, looking to maybe get around him as well.
Well, Sneaky Pete's running that Sneaky Pete line, and he's going to have to fight to get around him here.
Some guys are hard to pass, man. Their line is the track. You know what I mean? So you get up behind some of these guys, it's like you're behind Ryan Newman. It's not going to be easy to get around this cat. You don't know where he's going to be.
It's Derek getting a great run coming off the corner. He's going to be inside of Pete there, coming down into 3 and 4. Let's see if he's got enough grip as he's drifting up the track, getting
He
tight.
pushed a little there.
Unfortunately, that's going to cost him a lot of momentum, and it looks like Justin Barkley's going to maybe kind of sneak up there, and like, that was a mistake, young one.
Yeah, we talked about management. Derek needs to keep an eye on how he's treating that right front tire. So,
Yeah, looking to make that move again.
Well, he runs around him, doesn't he?
He wants around him bad, but once
tons
again,
of fighting that guy.
just not being able to make the car stick and get the pass.
William Brown has now extended his lead to about 0.6 of a second over Taver Mowry. Michael Simone still holding on to third, about 1 second behind the leader. You got a couple of tenths back is Michael Forns, and then Isaac Degner is your 5th place guy. He is 3.5, almost 4 seconds back.
Oh, Barkley moving back a few spots. I wonder if he himself made a mistake, just kind of getting gridlocked here. And, you know, as John Neidig pretty easily got around him, and Stephen McComas is looking to get around him here as well.
I love watching these mid to rear pack races, because these guys are hungry. They're like, hey man, we got 75-ish laps to go, 65-ish laps to go now.
I was going to say that's
taking some risks and make some moves. Oh man, Isaac Degner and the 80 get together. That may have been a little net code, but it did not help Isaac. He dropped a position there.
that got Derek around him, and so now we're seeing it. It's a long race. You got to keep that mental toughness about you, otherwise, you know, it's gonna cost you spots. As John Neidig looks to go around Isaac now too.
Adam, what are these guys thinking now? I mean, they're 135 laps in, and they still have 65 laps to go. I mean, what's their mental state right now?
Well, if it's me, I want to get out of the seat and get me a cold beer. You know what I mean? Because this is a long time, and all these, you know, variables in your race car are causing guys issues with the tires and the tire wear. It's just a fight. You know, if it was me, I'd keep racing. I'd probably like one more caution to kind of tighten things back up and get car straightened out and give it a good run. But they're tough, man. They're running this thing pretty much wide open here for a long periods of time. So it's really good racing. And like you said before, we don't have to just watch the leaders. A lot of these the fun battles are here in the middle, you know. And
Absolutely, sure.
They want to get up there.
And of course, as we say that, Mike Simone getting around Taver Mowry with Matt Forns lurking. That's all for your 2nd and 3rd spot.
Yeah, this A&J's Custom Creations 300 has not disappointed. These guys are starting to feel like they're getting towards the end of the race, but like you said, man, it's a long one. You know, not only are they getting tired and maybe getting a little shoulder pain and whatnot. But here's the positive thing is they have their rhythm down. These guys, if they come back to this track tomorrow, I guarantee you every one of these guys is going to knock, at least a quarter second off the qualifying time, because they know this track so much better now. Because, you might turn cup drivers in this series, in this league, are not required to run their 30 practice laps like the lower echelon teams in the Xfinity and ARCA series, but they're still going to be able to practice. But these guys, I guarantee you, they've got their rhythm down. They know exactly where their lift points and their points where they're getting back in the gas, coming out of the turns. They know exactly where they are now.
And as William Brown is starting to navigate traffic, and most of these cars are pretty clean, but there are some cars that have some damage, and that's later on in the race. We're gonna have to see how that comes into play as Taver kind of gets pick maneuvered here, and Matt Forns gets around.
He did. He got around some lap traffic. I think that was Anthony Fry in the 64. He kind of had to maneuver around him. And Matt Forns is working harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter. He's really pushing his car. He's in the 3 position, and that kind of benefited him there with that lap traffic.
Yeah, speaking of the real Mrs. Poindexter, we got some fine-looking paints out there today. I think we mentioned it before. There's a couple of new paints out there that I hadn't seen before that, we're talking about the real Mrs. Poindexter. You got to mention skin. We got especially that Rectech. That Rectech paint job, I think it was on the 26 car. That's my new favorite this week. Of course, you can't count out the 8 car. He's got that Air Force logo on the rear, which I thoroughly enjoy.
That car bleeds America, and I think we got a real American from Ohio sitting in the driver's seat of the number 8 car. We've already talked about Ohio. I love the Midwest. Those guys are tough. They're fighters. They're scrappers. They don't give up. That's what America's about, and he's displaying that on his car right now.
As they were 3 wide with some lap traffic.
Wow.
There. And man, these tires are not new. They're starting to get old, so being able to go 3 wide like that here, albeit for a split second, is still, man. These guys are driving it.
Yeah, there's not much left of these tires at this point. We're getting close to the point where, what do you do here as far as pit strategy? Do you wait for a yellow and try to make one more stop, or do you maybe pit now and then wait for another caution or something later on and try to make 2 stops? I mean, I don't know what you do here.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how the car's feeling right now. I can kind of guess by watching. It's getting a little squirrely on them, but that's a great question. I think whoever balances that out and manages that the most is going to end up in the top here, because that's a name of the game here. Management, right, Mr. Brown?
Yes, sir. And we're looking at the top 13 cars right now. All of them pitted on lap 115. So just kind of doing some quick.
Oh wow!
So just doing some quick math on that, and how it, because they're kind of creatures of habit. So like Taver is typically pitting around, 40 laps a stint. So you're looking at lap 155. So that's with 45 to go or so.
And we were talking earlier about how the latte cars and the 98 cars and stuff, they're not going to all pit together. They're kind of mixing it up, pitting when they think they need to. There's another team that doesn't really do it that way, the Angry Idiots, and both of you guys have driven for them as well. When they kind of all make a call, they kind of have a little debate session, and then they say, okay, here's when we're coming in. And you'll see all those Mustangs come down on the same lap. I guarantee it. So we'll see how it goes. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's just the different team strategies. You know, some guys do their own individual thing with their car, maybe how their car is actually feeling, and then some teams, like you talk about the angry idiots, just, hey, we're all going to take a pit right here because we're all on this lead lap. We're doing this, we're doing that. We're going in at this point. So, and that's cool, man. That's what iRacing and racing in general is about. You know, have a plan, stick to your plan, and trust your plan, right? And I think Tabor's in the number 5 car he's got a plan, and he's sticking to it. And so I think we'll probably see him here, like you said, Brown, around 155 come in.
The problem with that is, at that point, you know, you're looking at, that's your last pit stop, and you're going to be driving on some really old tires towards the end. So I don't know. He might change it up for this last one and try to run it until she can't run no more, and hopefully have a shorter stint on those tires and maybe a slightly faster car at the end. But, you know, we're just going to have to wait and see how this all pans out as we start to come down. You know, we're coming down to 50 laps to go now, so we'll see.
So a lot of the folks that might be watching this Midwest Days of Thunder League for the first time, they might not understand what we're talking about here as far as team owners and teams and whatnot, but this league is different in that not everybody is an independent driver. We got a couple, but most of these guys are in teams, and it's to better simulate actual race teams at the top tier of racing. So you'll have a lot of 4-car teams out here, and you know, first year teams are limited to 2 cars, and you got a couple of guys that run on their own. But if you're looking for a league to join that's progressive, and you want a team environment, a family environment, you know, starting out in ARCA, moving your way up to Xfinity and Cup, everybody helps one another. The camaraderie here is great. So if you're new to iRacing or you never tried it before, it doesn't matter, man. Check out Midwest Days of Thunder League in iRacing. They have a Facebook page as well. Hit them up if you've got questions, but I'm telling you, man, they've treated me very well. I'm sure you guys can speak your own experiences with it, but I think it's a great thing for anybody. Just even if you're just starting out and never drove a race car before, you know, Mike Simone's son Ryan is just now getting into it, and it's all skill levels here.
Yeah, that's right, man, and it's a family thing. You talk about Red Stink Mike and his son. He's basically training his son, and we have some others that Gavin Marlin and Jared.
Yeah, the
Marlin.
Marlins.
It's just a family thing, and Nidix and Maury. I mean, it's a great place, man. Tabor Maury started this league, I believe, and he's done a great job. But he's got a lot of good help from a lot of good people, you know. And it's not a one-man effort, and everybody puts something into it. And I think, you know, it's just a great deal.
They've got great admins that watch these races and keep an eye on what's going on, make sure everything's fair. I mean, this is the most fair league I've ever been part of. And then Manny Valdez, who unfortunately had a connection issue tonight, and he's going to be collecting last place points tonight, but he's the social media guy, and he's doing a killer job of getting the message out there that, hey, you know, if you want a place to come race, come seek us out. I mean, you're going to have fun either way.
As
Yeah,
we
guys.
got we got Justin Malarkey came down pit road, so now he's gonna be going back 3 laps down at least. But he also didn't pit that last caution, so he was probably running out there.
Well, while we were talking there, I was watching. We were speaking of Mike Simone, Red Stick Mike. He had a little problem. A car came down in front of him, got in the grass, and he went up into the wall. He's running second place. It looks like he held it, but I hope the car stayed together. No caution came out.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds back from William Brown, who's leading this thing now, and Brown, who started in 10th in that 48 car, he's been quick all night. He's kind of been the guy that he'll find himself up front, and he may lose his position for a lap or two, but then he's always back up there again.
And we have John Neidick and Taver Mowry coming down pit road, and looks like Taver's kind of sticking with his strategy here. We'll just have to wait and see how it all pans out, but they can make it to the end from here.
See, these guys are planners. They're kind of like the Angry Idiots team. They said, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come in lap, what are we at, 158, 157? They said, we're going to come in on this lap and stick together and try to help each other. I think that's a great thing.
Yep, and we got some more takers. We got Mike Simone and Matt Forms down pit road now too, so we're starting to see people slowly trickle in.
Ooh, Yahtzee. It's just a matter of time before you see the whole field cycle around.
Yeah, and Brown, you called it. I mean, I think you were 3 laps off, so I think you kind of felt what was coming, and they do have a plan. Neidick and Mr. Mowry, looks like they had a plan, and they did it together.
William Brown, your race leader, now coming down pit road, so that's going to give Isaac Degner the current lead before we all cycle through here. And Adam, you'd have to think on these old tires, you're probably losing more time than you're gaining by staying out.
Oh, you have to pit. Once the tidal wave starts, you better go with the tidal wave, or you're going to be stuck out there getting lapped like crazy, even if you're way up in front, because they're running so much faster on these fresh tires. So you just have to. And what's the strategy from here? If we have a caution, I think people will take tires, but if not, we're just going to run it till the end, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Derek Schimmel now, one of the newest takers down pit road. So that leaves, just 6 people who haven't come down yet. But I mean, this starts to open up that two tire window too. I mean, you're not worried about too many extra laps. We only have 2 attempts at a green-white checker, so I mean, as much as you're also wearing down the lefts as you are the right side tires, I think the 2 tire stop starts to come into play here.
No, you're right on that. I mean, if we're going to do a 2 tire stop, it's going to be at the end. I mean, I think that strategy is smart. I wouldn't do it early in this race because it's a marathon. I mean, we're talking 300 miles. So, and we're getting down to the nuts and bolts of it, aren't we? And that's where it's going to get real interesting here in these last few laps.
As the field's slowly starting to cycle through, Pete Van Sprundle and Alan Dixon are now down on pit road. Isaac still has not come down, but we also saw he had some late run speed, so we'll see. William Brown's hauling butt to get his lap back on those new tires.
Man, I want to just give it to old crazy Phil Stannard there in the Busch Light Apple Cart. He's still running with no front end, no front clip, and he's toughing it out. That says a lot about somebody that's willing to stick through a race like this with no front end left on his car, because he doesn't really have any chances, but he can move up a little bit, I guess, as he's fighting it out.
Well, I mean, if you look at the lap ticker here, he's still got some time. I mean, if a couple of guys have some incidences, I think that's right, incidences. He can at least make up a couple of spots here, but yeah, this is starting to turn out to be pretty wild, with 6 cars on the lead lap now.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna slowly come down to it's gonna come down to 5 cars on the lead lap as Isaac hasn't pitted. Stephen McComas hasn't pitted. The 25 of Eric Fiorello have not pitted yet.
So the ANJs, I'm sorry, I said AJs earlier too. The ANJs Custom Creations 300. Is this race meeting you guys' expectations? I mean, is this what you guys expected today?
Ooh, looks like I'm sorry to cut you off, but Michael Buckley having an issue. Let's see if we can't get a quick replay of that. Oh, he's got a lot of damage. Yeah,
What happened
I
there?
I think it's the curse of the apron. Oh, came up just a little bit, got loose. He was coming off of pit road. Lot of front end damage. He managed to get the car off the track in time to not cause a yellow, but man, that is such a bummer for Michael Buckley. He was running pretty good tonight, but his car is torn up.
And while we were talking during that replay, the 98 car of Isaac Degner got into somebody. It may have been a lap car there. He got pretty sideways. I saw some tire smoke going.
Well, and that's where we're at now, you know. And Buckley in a 26 car, you know, coming out of pit road, we saw that before. You know, those tires are cold, and you're trying to get back on the track. And hey, mistakes happen. Luckily, he didn't take anybody out there, but his front clip is gone as well. You know, it's gone just like Mr. English's Louisiana English. You know, sometimes he says the right words, sometimes he doesn't.
That's right.
Well, it looks like the 98 of Degner and the 25 of Fiorello have come down pit road, so that just leaves Stephen McComas to come down pit road. Oh, jeez.
Somebody blew an engine. I heard it.
Looks like, oh man, Stephen McComas with a very dangerous pit road entrance there. He was down on the apron, came back up onto the track in front of racing
Jeez.
cars.
He's definitely going to get penalized for that.
And I think old Buckley blew his engine. Might have had too much air going on that.
He's still rolling. I'm not sure that was him. The 98 got sideways coming out of the pits. Oh, no, not again.
That seems like where we're having our problems, and it's not bringing out cautions though.
The 98 was the race leader and pitted, and coming out of the pits, he got sideways and wrecked his car. We saw that earlier today. My goodness, that's heartbreaking, man, with no fast repairs here.
No, and you know, this late in the race, it's that mental management. These guys are getting tired. They're making silly little mental mistakes. I mean, how many times in practice have we all, you know, just come off pit road and thought nothing of it? But, you know, everything takes a mental strain now.
A rhythm will carry you for a while, but we're talking 300 miles here. 300 miles. I'm not sure a lot of these guys have driven 300 miles in a day in their regular car. And now you're doing it high focus environment. This is a high focus environment. And some of them they're starting to lose that focus, I think.
As William Brown is your current leader, he's got a 5-second gap. So, Gary Sargent having an issue too. Take a look back at that.
That's what we're talking about, you know, management, Brown. You nailed it when you called the management part, and mental management here is what I think we're running into.
I wonder if Gary Sargent had some sort of mechanical issue with that car because he parked down low and took the tow. So we'll have to see if he rejoins this race. But right now we got William Brown, your current leader, with John Neidick in second, Mike Simone in third, Taver Mowry in fourth, Matt Forns in fifth, Pete Van Sprundle in sixth, Alan Dixon in seventh, Justin Barkley in eighth, and Derek Schimmel in ninth. And those are your only cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, we heard a motor blow up, and I think that was the car that you just mentioned, because look who we got here. Eric Fiorello, who started 21st, he was up in the top 5, now slipped back to 12th. He's a lap down, but I think that's just because he pitted a little bit earlier than some of these guys. He may cycle back around. We'll see here.
Yeah, he pitted pretty late. He pitted on 167, and William Brown pitted on 159. So that's almost 10 laps different on tires. So we'll have to see how things shake up. But he's still currently a lap down. And Stephen McComas, we saw him come down pit road pretty late too. He's a lap down. He's hoping for a late caution because he's in the lucky dog spot.
Yeah, what a heartbreaking night for Isaac Degner. I mean, to be leading the race and pit and then have that problem on exit and have to go back into the pits again. He's being shown as the second car lap down right now behind Stephen McComas, but it's not over for him. I mean, we still got 20, coming up on 25 to go here.
Yeah, and I'm watching Taver Mowry just click laps away. I think so far his strategy's paying off. He's set number 4. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to take over William Brown's position, but maybe we get another caution and somebody gets a chance at him.
Yeah, you could be 7 seconds ahead of the next car, but yeah, a caution's going to take all that away. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm looking at some of these faster cars, but like you mentioned, Taver Mowry quietly sitting there in 4th position. He's moving up as well.
We can kind of see the battle there for second between Mike Simone and John Neidick. They're battling it out, and Matt Fornes just got around Taver Mowry, so we'll see what these guys have at the end. There's 24 laps to go, and by the time this is ending, those tires are feeling pretty old, so we'll have to see who manages the best.
Yeah, big bad John Neidick running in that 3rd position. Keep your eye on him. 7.5 seconds behind the leader. I just mentioned it. It's not going to matter if a caution comes out. He's going to be inside on the 2nd row. So watch big John Neidick. He may be a surpriser here.
Yeah, he's a scrapper, Ohio guy, just like we always talk about. And how well do you think these guys know these cars by now? I mean, we've clicked off 178 laps, looks like, and I'm pretty sure these guys kind of know what the deal is at this point.
They're definitely getting an idea on how these things handle at nighttime on Charlotte. This was advertised as a transition race, but by the time we got qualifying out of the way and practice out of the way, it was nearly completely dark. We had a little bit of sun on the track, didn't we, Alan?
Yeah.
And then the shade started to take over, and as soon as the lights came on and everything started to kind of level out, this track has been pretty stable. We're looking at a track temp of 86 degrees still right now, but that wind's still coming out of the southwest at 12. But pretty stable conditions here.
Oh man, it's just kind of playing out how we talked about. And you got to tough it out, manage everything you got, and we're getting ready to go. Yahtzee, boys.
Yeah, William Brown, your current leader with a big gap, 7 seconds over Mike Simone in 2nd. John Neidick is in 3rd. And, I mean, I don't know if these guys are going to be able to catch William, but, a late caution might throw a wrench in the mix. If I'm William, I'm saying no caution, no caution, no caution, no caution.
Oh, absolutely. We mentioned it before. William Brown is a winner in this series. He knows what it takes to stay out front in one of these races, and one of those is concentration. And that's what he's doing right now. He's just concentrating on hitting marks. Yeah, he's got a huge lead, but I think we're going to beat this to death. But it's all about management. He's managing the space behind him. He's managing his tires. He might even be in fuel savings mode right here in case we get some green-white checkers. But one thing that's going through William Brown's mind is he's telling himself, don't mess up. Don't mess up. Give me a yellow, but don't mess up.
Yeah, we got pretty big gaps kind of all around the track. No one very tight for position, really. I mean, we got Pete Van Sprundle and Justin Barkley kind of relatively close for 6th and 7th right now. So I think, everyone's may have fallen into their finishing spots and kind of just want to get this darn thing over with.
I'm telling you, we touched on it before, but yeah, the guys in VR like Pete, they're saying, God, is this over yet? Because they're ready to get that thing off their head. But looking at the bottom three in the lead lap, Dixon, Schimmel, McComas, don't count these guys out just yet. I mean, they might be 20 seconds, 25 seconds behind the leader, but hey, a yellow could change everything here.
Yes, indeed. As we are almost at 15 laps, we're at 16 laps to go right now. That's a lot of miles. That's a lot of laps. Can William Brown... Oh, Phil Stannard having another issue. Let's go back and take a look what happened here.
Oh, that's too bad for old Crazy
No.
Phil. He's been fighting it all race.
Getting tight into the outside wall and then all the way across the track, down the backstretch and into the inside wall. I mean, his car was already tore up, so I don't know how much more damage he could have gotten, but he managed to keep the engine on and roll it down towards pit lane there.
I guess his saving grace is a lot of that secondary damage was on the butt end of that car. So, I mean, nothing mechanical affected by hitting that rear end against the wall. But he's coming in for repairs right now. He may have had a meatball. We'll see. Adam, you know what a meatball is. You've had one a time or two, haven't you?
I think that's pretty much all I have, you know. I mean, basically, you've ruined your car. That's what it boils down to, and I'm pretty sure he might have just ruined it there. He's had quite the fight with that thing today, but he's hanging in there, like I said. I mean, that's a real racer. That's a real man. Just stick it out and run your laps out. I mean, I personally probably would have hung it up a long time ago there.
But when you damage your car enough, they don't just throw you a black flag. They throw you a black flag with a brown circle in the middle. That's why they call it a meatball flag. And that means you must pit for repairs. It's not because you made a mistake on the track and have a penalty, you're speeding or something like that. A meatball flag, as we call it, is, hey, you've got a ton of damage that you need to get fixed. And when you go in there and pit for required repairs, you might be sitting there a while.
That's true, and no fast repair, like we said again. I mean, so he's going to have to set it out.
And as we look here for the battle for third, John Neidick and Matt Forns are pretty close. Oh, big run by Matt Forns by the looks of it, almost getting into him a little bit.
That's at least the second time I've seen him get a big run like that and make something out of it.
Not being able to get the pass, but he's knocking on the door.
And they kept it clean there, but I mean, this is really the race within the race now, guys. I mean, this is why it's interesting. You know, these two guys here are racing. They're trying to get that spot. You know, it all ends up in the standings. You know, and we have a long season to go, so trying to get every point they can out of this race.
You know what's not long is the rest of this race, because here coming across the stripe, it's 10 to go. It's time to go. These guys are on the lead lap. It's time to go, boys. Time to dig deep. You might not catch William Brown as he's 10 seconds ahead of Michael Simone, but these other positions, they're up for grabs still.
As we look as Matt Forns move to the inside of John Neidick, trying to take away that third spot, and he gets the pass completed into 3 and 4. Let's see, does John have an answer for him? No.
Yeah, I don't
and
think
we also
that's
got a
the
battle
end of
for
John
6
Neidick.
here, side by side. Taver Mowry and Pete Van Sprundle.
I love this. I love watching these guys try to mix this up towards the end. Everybody's pretty spread out, but these guys are still wanting to race.
Yeah, every position matters in this league. Every single point. Still side by side they go.
Yeah, does one of them make a mistake here? Sneaky Pete or Taver Mowry? I mean, this could bring out a caution, or we could just have a good dogfight till the end here.
Man, still side by side they go. Looks like Tabor getting a little bit of a lead there going down the stretch, but they're still neck and neck. Tabor's on significantly older tires too, so we'll see how they handle it, but it looks like Pete was able to get the spot back, and Tabor's not going away yet though.
It's hard to quit at this point in the race. Let's push it. You know, we're gonna fight as much as we can. Whatever's left in your car, you're gonna drive it like you stole it.
Yeah, and here with just 6 more laps to go, I want to mention one more time our race sponsors, the A&J's Custom Creations. A&J's Custom Creations specializes in custom cakes, specialized gifts for every occasion. T-shirts, tumblers, they can put your name on a hairbrush, custom signs, and much, much more. Holiday-themed items, Christmas ornaments. If you got somebody difficult to shop for, check out A&J's Custom Creations on Facebook. Send them a message, give them a like. They're tonight's race sponsor. Give them a little bit of love. They're a small business, a family-owned business. You know, we got to take care of these kind of folks.
As Justin Barkley gets around John Neidig to take away the 4th spot, John slowly losing ground as we approach 5 laps to go. William Brown, your current leader, by almost 11 seconds. Mike Simone in 2nd and Matt Forns in 3rd.
Well, William Brown, I mean, he looks like he's basically Jimmy Johnson out there in
Yeah,
the
for
mid
sure.
the mid 2000s, late 2010ish, when he was just driving through people.
Unstoppable.
Especially at tracks like this, he dominated, and that's what's happening today in the 48 car with William Brown.
As we look back here, a battle for 9th and 10th. Stephen McComas creeping up on Derek Schimmel, trying to maybe get that one extra spot before laps run out, but it's ticking by very, very fast. 3 laps to go.
And Derek's one of these guys, he's not going to sweat this. I mean, there's a car coming up to challenge him. He's one of those guys that says, hey, man, I'm in it for the long run, as he goes low on Anthony Fry here to get around him. Tony Fry's one of them guys that if he's a lap down, he got some damage, he's going to stay out of your way. He's going to do the classy thing and just, hey, man, you guys go low. I'm going to stay up here.
Looks like McComas getting a run down the backstretch, looking to see if he can sneak inside of Derek, and he does. Side by side, they go 3 and 4.
Man, you guys think this is it? Are we going green the rest of the way here?
I think we're going green the rest of the way. Across the line they go, side by side, down towards turn 1. And it looks like William Brown will take the white flag. So William Brown, big gap behind him, running away with this one, going through 3 and 4, down the backstretch. Man, he can picture it. This thing's almost over. He's got his celebratory drink ready by his side through 3 and 4.
Relief is in sight, man.
It's almost over.
Here he comes through the tri-oval and across the line. William Brown picking up his 2nd win of the season here in the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. We still have some racing going on. Mike Simone finishing in 2nd. Justin Barkley taking 3rd. Matt Forns finishing 4th. John Neidig getting the 5th spot.
The 22 and the 10 had a great last lap race, and Barkley got the better of that deal.
Man, talk about a finish. It's not the type of finish you'd quite expect, to be exciting. But I mean, still, these guys managed very well.
100% agree. I mean, this was a race. I mean, it's tested everyone's mental awareness, their strategies. I think Tabor and Neidig got pitted a little bit early on that last run, and it cost them, I think, a little bit. But nonetheless, they had a good day. And man, whew, if you were on the lead lap on this, you should be pretty proud of yourself.
Yeah, as we watch here, we got William Brown doing his burnouts. Looked like, who was that? Was that John Nidek giving him a little celebratory
Here
bump
comes
or
Tabor
taper?
Mowry giving him a little love tap. Yeah.
Man, all right, let's get William Brown into the booth.
William Brown is an Ohio boy, and he's racing for Latte Motorsports. Looks like just another Ohio kid.
William Brown, our race winner here in the A&J's Custom Creations 300. You got a copy, man?
Sure do, guys. How are you doing?
Do it. How are you doing? That's the big question, man. Congratulations on the win.
I feel a lot better.
Talk about a heck of a race.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have what it took in the long run because I would see people like Mike Simon and Isaac DeGeneres just blow by me in the last handful of laps on a run, like they had new tires or something. And wasn't sure how it would shake out, but it shook out in our favor.
Well, did it ever? I mean, you look like, I'm just going to say it, Jimmy Johnson in about 2008 run around there at the end. You had such a big lead, and some of them guys dropped out early, unfortunately, like Manny and Lance. I think they had some connection issues, but you took advantage of that, and you were already up there with them to begin with, and you were just kind of in control, seemed like, the whole race.
Yeah, I had some. I tend to get out ahead early on and stay out there for a while. I know I had Justin Malarkey kind of battling with me there for a while. Not sure where he ended up, but I know towards the end it was a matter of, I guess, when people pit, did they split it in half or did they try to stay out for a while? Kind of pit strategy, and then from there I was kind of surprised to see that when it all shook out, not only did I have a few second lead, but I just kept making it grow until I think I had about 10 seconds on second.
You definitely had 10-second lead on them guys towards the end. One thing I wanted to ask you about is the Latte guys. It seems like y'all might have all had a little bit different idea of when to pit and what to do. Were you guys communicating at all on, did you plan to try to pit at the same time, or did it just not work out that way?
Are you talking about here towards the end of the race?
Yeah, we're trying to pay attention to you guys most of the race, and we saw Latte cars coming down, not always on the same lap. Sometimes they were staggered a few laps.
Yeah, I earlier in the race we didn't really communicate on pit strategy so much. Towards the end of that last run, me and Tabor, we were the last two running on our team. We communicated a little bit, but he felt like he needed to pit a little earlier for tires than I did. So he went in a few laps earlier, and then I stuck true to splitting it right in half at about 42 to go. So we kind of communicated, we just didn't go at the exact same time.
Well, man, awesome run. It was fun to watch your paint scheme. I mean, you Jimmy Johnson look like anyway out there. Congratulations, man. Have a celebration with your friends and stuff, man. That was a great job.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. You have a good one, too.
That was William Brown with our race winner. Let's get Mike Simone in here, who finished in second. Hey, Mike, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mike, congratulations on a second place finish. Talk about how tough of a race this was. I mean, just mentally and physically fighting a car with basically old tires on a lot of this race.
Yeah, 200 laps is a long race. But, we, from the get-go, we were just talking about our lap times. And from the get-go knew we were going to have to take it easy and just hope to, catch them at the end of the long runs, which is kind of what happened. Toward the end of the race there, I got up in the wall, and I don't know if I had enough damage to slow my car down to keep me from catching William, because William was he was really fast tonight. Uh, but yeah, it was a good finish for us and the other north south drivers. Second, third, and fourth place finish. So we're pretty pumped.
Yeah, Red Stick Mike. I mean, the North South guys, you guys had a great night tonight. I know you love talking about yourself, but tell us a little bit about your son Ryan. I know he made his ARCA debut last night. How is he enjoying iRacing, and is he taken to it? Do you think he'll enjoy doing it in the future?
Oh yeah, he had a blast last night. We set realistic goals before the race. We just wanted him to finish, not cause cautions, hold his line, and just kind of get a feel of a longer race than what he's used to. He was caught up in a couple cautions, but he learned from them, and
Oh yeah,
I know he's really excited for the next week's race.
Oh man,
we're
it was
excited to see him. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It was awesome. I think we saw you out on the track with him pre-race before that race, kind of showing him the line and stuff. It's awesome to see stuff like that with a father and son, man. And you're doing a great job. I'm glad to see your son in there. You had a great race. And Red Stick Mike, I love that name.
My Louisiana brother.
That's right.
All right,
Thank you guys. I'm excited to go back and watch the broadcast and see how you guys did tonight.
Well, enjoy, brother. We'll holler at you later.
All right,
And
thank
Take
you.
care. Congrats. I think
Thank-
we did fair to Midland. Put it on that.
Mike Simon, our second place finisher for you.
You
We'll
got to use a little bit of that South Louisiana drawl now. It's a Simone.
That's right.
oh, that's right, Simone.
There you
Excuse
go.
me.
Mike
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Which channel you want to go to, Mike?
I got it.
Okay, all right. Thanks,
Take
brother.
care, brother.
We'll finish up our interviews with our third place finisher, Justin Barkley, just getting the pass done towards the end there on Matt Forns. Hey, Justin, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, a top 3 finish here at a long race. You were kind of going up and down. You ended up finishing 10 spots above where you gridded. Talk about how tough this race was for you.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a long race for me. And I didn't like new tires for whatever reason. I really progressed on the older tires. The reason why I made it up to third place in the last lap.
Wow. So you actually like the the older tires over the newer tires, is what you're kind of saying. While
Yeah.
you're driving that was that a Tampa Bay Buccaneers car you were driving out there?
Oh yeah, by Mr. Simone.
Oh yeah, he's a good artist.
I can paint a car, that's for sure.
Yes,
Hey,
he can.
I wanted to ask you about great finish tonight. William Brown just kind of ran away from the field here. You were 14 seconds behind him as the leader, but I mean, we had long green flag runs tonight. But one of the things that we had mentioned was, has anybody ever approached you from Stouffer's or Kraft about a mac and cheese sponsorship? Because, I mean, if anybody in here could be a great representative of that kind of deal, I mean, you'd be the guy.
I might talk to Mr. Simone and see what he can do about that.
I'd love to see a mac and cheese paint running around here. It'd be unique. It'd be the only one. But we sure had a lot of fun calling this race and watching you kick ass tonight, man. Great race tonight.
Hey guys, I appreciate it, and good job on the broadcast.
I
Congrats,
appreciate it, man. That is Justin Barkley, your third place finisher here tonight. Boys, talk about a heck of a race that we saw here. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was excited, but I'm now also pretty tired.
Yeah, me too, man. One thing I wanted to mention too is I wanted to see if we could bring up Richard Michelob Gray to see what he thought about the rest of the season, because we all know he's one of those guys that's waiting in the wings, and I'd like to hear what he thinks about the rest of this upcoming season, if we have time, that is.
Oh, we absolutely have time. Let's get him up here. Hey, Mr. Gray, you got a copy?
Yeah, but
Hey man, so after watching this race, what do you think about the future races here?
Hey. It's gonna be good, don't you think, Michelob?
I think
It's
it's gonna be a hell of a fucking
it's gonna be
a
a hell of
hell
a
of a
ride.
damn season.
Yeah, I think so too, man. And you're like the head of HR, I think, of this league, MDOT Racing. So I mean, you're the one that would know.
Do what now? Start again?
Well, you're just a big part of MDOT Racing, Midwest Days of Thunder Racing. You've taken a new position with the league, and I think the league is here to stay, and it's growing, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I've been here since the start. It's been a hell of a ride with these guys. I mean, seeing the guys come and go, and seeing these new guys coming in on this season, yeah, it's a hell of a run this time.
Well, thanks for coming tonight, man. We'll talk at you later, man. We'll put you back down in your chat for you.
All right, y'all be cool.
All
Hey,
right, brother.
All right. Oh boy. Yep, I'm tired. I'm sweating. I can imagine half of these guys are just like that. So we'll do our official race rundown here with William Brown getting his second win of the season here for at Charlotte Motor Speedway, with Mike Simone coming in second, Justin Barkley in the 22 machine coming in third, Matt Forns in the 10 machine coming in fourth, and John Neidick coming in fifth. Pete Van Sprundle snuck up the field, finishing in 13th, and he is your big mover of the day. Typical sneaky Pete. Taver Mowry coming in 7th, and Alan Dixon in 8th. Stephen McComas coming in 9th, with Derek Schimmel rounding out your top 10.
Eric Fiorello with Angry Idiots is going to be your first car that finished one lap down. He had an up and down day today, and he just couldn't stay on that lead lap, but it's a solid 11th finish. Isaac Degner, I mean, this guy was leading the race and ran up front all night. Heartbreak happening for him today as he finishes the lap down. Same thing with Justin Malarkey. These guys just caught a bad break tonight. Michael Pimpero being 14th to finish. Phil Stannard, 15th place. Anthony Fry, 16th. North-South's Michael Buckley, the number 26 car, he'll finish 17th place. Gary Sargent with No Toad in the 28 will finish 18th tonight.
Yeah, and now we got Corey Wakefield. He had some incidents early. He's 150 laps down, but hey, he was out there. At least he's going to gain some points in the 16 car. Joe Neidick in the 24 car in the 20th place. Then Lance Hill and Manny Valdez, who both had connection issues. So we'll see them again. And I just wanted to say, man, thanks to our sponsor, A&J's Custom Creations. Go check that out for your loved ones. They got some great stuff there. And I had fun, boys. It was long. I got shoulder pain, and I wasn't even driving a car. So I'm just happy to work with you.
Yeah, let me just ask you guys one quick thing before we head off the air for tonight. You know, this is the last race before the All-Star race. I think we're about halfway through the season. How important was this race for some of these guys to get some momentum for the rest of the season?
Momentum is everything, man. I mean, you can practice all you want. You can prepare every way you can, but everybody's going to have some adversity. The thing that's going to keep these guys motivated, the thing that's going to keep these guys positive and confident is finishing. You know, the guys that finish better are going to have more momentum. They're going to have more of that drive running into that next race. So the guys in the back, you know, it's desperation time. I understand that we're only a few races in here, but hey, when you start creeping towards the bottom of that board, hey, it's panic time.
Well, I wouldn't go straight into panic time yet, but but you're getting close to it, right? I mean, they're going to be paying attention to the standings, which will be updated probably tonight, and there's going to be a lot of movement on that board. You know, you got to be in the top 16 or win a race to get into the playoffs, and that's everybody's goal. So, man, it's a long one. This was a long race. I'm exhausted too. Brown, I know you are. You're the button master. You hit all the buttons to do all the stuff. So me and Dum Dum, we just talk. I'm Dum Dum actually, Mr. English, but
Hey man,
it was a long night, but it was fun, you guys. I had a good
hey,
time.
you got to give it to anybody that's going to direct one of these races and be the lead commentator and do the replays and everything. Alan Brown, he really second to none. He does a really really great job here.
Yeah, I'd just like to do a quick shout out here to Joe Archer. Big appreciation for that fantastic replay little background that he created. He created that on less than 24 hours, and I think he did a fantastic job. So thank you so much, Joe, for that.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
And that will do it from Charlotte tonight. I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner, signing off, and see you some other time.
We gone.
See ya.